Well, hey there. Welcome to the channel. My name's Jeff. Today, we're going to look at the Intuitive Investor Portfolio. This is a portfolio that I have invested in throughout 2025. I began on the first trading day of the year. It was January 2nd. Every month, first of the month, I invest equal amounts into 10 stocks. So far this year, this portfolio has generated a return of more than 36%. And today I'm here to just run through the 10 stocks. I have never done this before, from the first one to the last one, and I'm just going to show them all to you. So the first one is Coastal Financial Corporation. The ticker symbol is CCB for Coastal Community Bank. They're based here in Washington State, where I live. I'm in Seattle. The bank is based in Everett, Washington. And I did a lot of research last year, 2024, before this year even began. And there was something about this company, about the company's CEO, Eric Sprink, and about their fintech business model, its banking as a service, that just spoke to me intuitively. I knew I needed to invest in this stock. The next one on the list is Dycom Industries. DY is the symbol. This company does telecommunications infrastructure. I know it's going to be a vital part of the whole AI build out, but it's a valuable company aside from AI because of its central role in telecom. EMCOR Group, EME, this is a play on infrastructure build out, specifically data centers, but they do a lot of other things: electrical, engineering, plumbing, contracting. Comfort Systems, which is FIX, is another amazing company. It's in the same category as EMCOR Group. The CEO, Brian Lane, is amazing. He has just turned this into a fantastic company, and they are riding the wave. It's a great time to be in contracting, and Comfort Systems is benefiting from this wave. Onto innovation. This is a company that builds equipment used in semiconductor manufacturing, metrology, AI packaging, and control systems. Onto Innovations, based in Wilmington, Massachusetts. I did a lot of research. I decided that this stock made a lot of sense, and that's how it made it into this portfolio. Primoris Services, PRIM. This is another company in the same industry as EMCOR and Comfort Systems, but it's a much smaller company. PRIM, the ticker. I like this company. I watch a lot of YouTube videos about the company. I watched them from the point of view of the people who work there, and I could tell that people who work there like the business. They like working there, and that's what helped to push me over. Intuitively, I knew Primoris would be a great investment for me. Quanta Services, PWR. Power is the ticker. The CEO, Duke Austin, is an amazing guy. I listened to podcasts with him. I watched YouTube videos. I learned about Quanta. They're vital to AI data center build out. But even without it, even without that particular leg of the stool, they are intimately involved with contracting and with transmission distribution of electricity. So no matter where things go with AI, I think Quanta Services is in a great position. Sprouts Farmers Markets, SFM. This is a stock that I did not know I was going to buy in this portfolio when 2025 began. But a few months into the year, I just knew I wanted to own this stock, and I decided to add it to my Intuitive Investor portfolio. So that's how it made it in. Sterling Construction, STRL, a small cap company. Small, I'd actually call this a mid cap. It's much smaller than EMCOR. It's much smaller than Comfort Systems, but it's an amazing company. Joe Cutillo is the CEO, and what they are doing there in Texas, the Woodlands, Texas, is just remarkable. And that is why Sterling made it into my portfolio. They pivoted from construction of bridges and roads and all of these low margin infrastructure plays into data center construction, which is a much higher margin. And Sterling Construction just made it into this portfolio. I call it Sterling Construction. It's actually Sterling Infrastructure, because when they rebanded from bridges and highways into data centers, they changed the name. So Sterling Infrastructure. Then Vital Farms is a company that, I've been eating their eggs for quite a while. They do these pasture-raised eggs. They are so much better than the eggs that I got at Costco, even better than the eggs I got at Trader Joe's. And just as a customer, I love the eggs. So I did some learning about the company and about the CEO and about the way they treat all of the small family farms that provide them with the eggs and the butter. And that's why it made it very easy for me to decide to invest in Vital Farms. And finally, the 11th stock in the portfolio, been there since the beginning, is Vistra Energy, VST. And Vistra is just one of those top names. I put them right up there with Constellation Energy. Those are my two best ideas in energy companies, in the kind of providers of power to AI and data centers. And what I like about these companies is, despite how things work out with the data center build out, despite AI and whether it's a bubble or not, our country is going to need energy. It's going to need a lot of it to heat in the winter, to provide air conditioning in the summer, and to power all of the data centers. Google, Microsoft, Amazon, all the data centers, they just need energy, and these are the companies that are going to provide it. So I just wanted to share with you this kind of overview of the portfolio. I know I've talked about some of these stocks at different times throughout the year. And, I think that being a part of where things are right now and where they're going in the next several months and in the next several years is important. I've been really focused on this portfolio because it's the first time I realized that intuition is really what's been guiding my best ideas as an investor. When I started investing, my returns were kind of average. Some stocks would work out well, some wouldn't, but I was usually following the story that somebody else gave me, whether I was reading it in the newspaper or in a magazine or hearing someone on YouTube or in a podcast talking about things. I would just be influenced by other people's narratives. And I realized that's the entirely wrong way to go about it, because that's working from the outside, from what you're finding out in the world and bringing it in. But when you do that, you make all these assumptions, kind of take shortcuts. You don't learn about everything, and you can be blinded by important things that you ignored because you accepted someone else's story. But if you work from the inside out, then you build the story yourself. It's like the way science works. The scientific method is, okay, I have a hypothesis. I think this is going to go this way, or I think this is the answer, but I have to test it. I have to do my own experiment. And based on what I find, then I can make a confident decision about what happened in this experiment. And so when you work from the inside out, you build the story yourself, detail by detail. And that's what I've done with this intuitive portfolio. And I'm allowing my own intuition to guide me toward the companies that I think are really going to benefit this year, but also the next 3 to 5 years and beyond. And so I'll just review here with you guys the stocks again. The first one is CCB, and that's Coastal Financial Corporation, but I just remember it as Coastal Community Bank. I actually went there and I opened up a bank account just to actually be in the bank, meet some of the people who work there and get a feel for it. I went there and opened up an account and put some money in just so I could be not only an observer of the stock, but actually part of the business. That's how I get that intuitive feel for what a business is really like. Then Dycom, and this is a company that is doing the telecommunications, like the wires, the tube, the fiber optic networks that connect all of the information in this world. Dycom's a big part of that. EMCOR Group, big contracting company, engineering, electrical, plumbing. EMCOR does it. Very similar, same as Comfort Systems, which is Fix, the same industry as Fix. And then we have Onto Innovation, and again, they are the company that makes the equipment, focuses on metrology, control systems, and AI packaging. So this is a big part of the all of the manufacturers of semiconductors need this kind of equipment, whether they make it or Camtek makes it or Nova Limited makes it. They have to get this kind of equipment. Primoris Services, they're in that same industry as EMCOR, Comfort Systems, and Sterling Infrastructure. They all do slightly different things, but they're all part right now of the data center build out. Quanta Services, PWR, they're also a part of the data center build out, but they are distribution of power and electricity. They're in the transmission business, although they own a lot. They own more than 100 different smaller companies, but they're all involved in construction, contracting, and electrical distribution. Sprouts Farmers Market, SFM, company, great grocery stores. I've been there. I went there shopping earlier this year just to get a feel of what their stores are like, because I believe going there and having lunch, just being in the store, experiencing it and knowing about it. And I've been in their stores not only here in Washington State, I've been to the Sprouts in Santa Fe. I know what the stores are like, and I really like them. And that, I believe, gives me an edge as an intuitive investor. Sterling Infrastructure, pouring the foundations, working on the slabs, whether it's a residential or a data center construction. That's their specialty, is the build out of infrastructure. Sterling Infrastructure, one of my top 10 companies. I guess it's 11 now because I added Sprout. Vital Farms, VITL, that's that ticker symbol, butter and eggs, but especially the eggs. They make great butter though. And Vistra Energy, VST, one of my favorite energy companies, right up there with Constellation. So that is my video for you today. Now you know all 11 companies that I've invested into every month of the year. It's been an incredible journey. 36% plus the returns. I'll have to check what the return is as of today. Today's the 28th of August, 2025. But I do know that the S&P 500 has delivered about 10%. So the returns on this portfolio are more than triple the S&P 500, and that's the best result I've ever had as an investor. And I continue to look for stocks that I think are going to benefit next year and beyond. While I keep focused on this portfolio, and I'm going to keep adding to these 10, actually it's 11 stocks. Once next year starts, I'm not going to just invest in the same companies. I have to tweak things and figure out where things are going next, because I think as much as I like this focus and weight towards energy, communication, and infrastructure build out for data centers, I don't think that that's going to be the sweet spot of the market every year. So I believe an intuitive investor really has to figure out where they feel things are going in the future so that they can align the portfolio to best be in that sweet spot, because I think that it moves. I think that the sectors that benefit the most in the stock market tend to change over time. And the one thing that we have as humans that AI does not have is this intuition, this feeling that things are going this way. So while I think we can use AI tools to help us figure out the best stocks, the best businesses in each sector, in each industry. I think that as humans, we have a distinct advantage in the ability to use our intuition. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.